Okay, here are the mental math answers. This actually turns into -1, and that's a positive 1. So -1 plus positive 1 is 0. This one was 10 times 10 to the -8, which then we do is 1 times 10 to the -7. Okay. This one, we get y equals 8 because I first did like terms. 5y minus 2y is 3y. Y equals 8. Okay. Convert 3 square yards to square feet, and remember we do twice, multiply it by 3 twice, so it's like 3 times 3 times 3, and we get 27 feet squared. 150% of 120, well, 100% of 120 is 120, and then 50% is 60, so 60 plus 120 is 180, and then they're asking basically the same thing. 120 increased by half of itself, which is 180. Okay, this should be a pretty short lesson. We're just taking formulas that we know and plugging in data that they give us. The only difference is we used to, if we had a formula, we didn't know this one, and we were given these two letters. Okay, like if it was area equals length times width, we do L times, we know our length and width and find our area. What if they gave us this and we're missing one of those? All you do is plug in what we know. Okay, so here they're saying D is 36. So I'm going to replace D with 36. I'm going to replace the R with 9. And it says find T. So there we go, once we plug in what we do know. And now we can just line by line solve it like we've been doing. And so I get 4 equals T, or T equals 4. Okay. These are actually pretty fun. This formula, use the formula F equals 1.8 C plus 32 to find F when C is 37. Now, this is a formula that is used a lot. Oh, above, actually, let me back up. D equals RT is how we do distance, rate, and time. So like if, how far can we go if mom's going 100 miles an hour and we are driving for 3 hours? And then that will help you find your distance. So it's a formula that's going to be used a lot, especially next year in algebra. Okay, this one is converting Celsius to Fahrenheit. We've been converting Fahrenheit to Celsius, which was rather easy, but we haven't been doing Fahrenheit to Celsius yet. So, or sorry, Celsius, yes, what I just said. Anyway, let's plug in we know. It says find F, so we don't know F, when C is 37. So we're going to do 1.8 times 37 plus 32. And that's how we want you to write it, okay? Write it with parentheses if you have a variable that was replaced with a number. And then we're going to calculate this out. And yeah, I'm not going to be weak. I'm going to go off to the side and we're going to calculate this out, okay? It's good practice. And hopefully I do it right. I'm sure I will find out from you if I didn't. And it looks like we get 66.6, and then we add 32 to that. So I'm just going to write it down here as part of my work. So 98.6. Okay, so F equals 98.6. Now, if they admitted to us that this was Celsius to Fahrenheit, then we would have probably put degrees with our answer, but we're not. So we'll go ahead and box that. Now the rest is up to you. It's just practice, so it's pretty fun. And you can check in the book. Make sure that you plug in and you show your work. I don't want to just see an answer, okay? We need to see how you plugged in the information, okay? All right, area equals base times height. Now, if you can recognize the formula, that's great. This is the formula for area of a parallelogram. So we could even write it bigger so you have it ready. Area equals base times height. And then A is 20 and H is 4. So you could do that. That might make it look a little weird or confusing, but that's the same as this, isn't this? Okay. So I want you to see that these are equivalent. And then now you know what to do. You want to get B alone, right? Divide both sides by B. And we get actually B equals 5. So let's say we knew the area of a parallelogram was 20 and the height was 4, and we'd figure out how to find the base. Okay? And a couple more. Area equals 1/2 base times height. Now, yes, hopefully you remember that is the triangle, the formula for the area of a triangle. Okay, so A is 20, H is 4. So we'd say 20 equals 1/2. And we could just, write B and then 4. That's not a 6 though. So if you write a B and it looks like a 6, you should fix it. You end up in trouble later on. You get the wrong answer. Okay, because you lose your variable. So now I'm going to clean up this right-hand side. What I mean is I'm going to multiply. I'm going to take care of these two real number, or these two digits, and put B off to the right. So 1/2 of 4 is 2. So there it is cleaned up. 20 equals 2B. Okay, divide both sides by 2. And we get 10 equals B. Or we could say B equals 10. You would get credit if you led with the B or led with the 10. Okay? All right, here's another one from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So find F when C is -40. Okay, so that means we get to multiply again. And I hold the placeholder there. You guys shouldn't, oh, there you go. Should not do a line of zeros at this point in time. You're too old for that, right? If we have a 0 right here, bring it down and start with the 4. 4 times 8 is 32. And there we go. One digit, 72. Okay, but it's -72, isn't it? Be very careful. So I'm actually going to write that in here. Equals -72 plus 32. So you can see why I might have gotten a different answer than you if we got this negative missed. So 72, we actually take away 32 from that, and we get 40, right? So the final answer is -40. So be careful on those with negatives when you're calculating. Sometimes we forget or lose track. And there you go. Short lesson, fun, and we will see you